Okay, so running a business, say you're on your own, one man in a van, the classic scenario for a decorator most of the time. So easy mathematics, we'll say you earn £1,000 a week, so £200 a day. So if you take tax off, so there's 20% gone straight away. So you're down to 160. Next up, your van. I would say you got allowed, say, £10 a day for a van. You might say, I bought my van, mate. I sold my car, bought my van. I've had my van years. It's all good. It's paid for. I don't have hire purchase on it. 3 or 4 years down the line, you're going to have to buy a new van. And a new van's going to cost you anything between, 25, 30 grand to £70,000. Funny enough, as a decorator, you're not going to do that one big job very often that's going to pay for a new van. It does happen, but not very often. Not if you work for yourself, one man in a van. So if you, in theory, allow £10 a day, sounds a lot, but you've got to find big money for a van these days. So £10, take that out. Next up, you got your tax, your MOT, your servicing, your insurance for that van. £5 a day. I mean, a good service is probably 600-700 quid for a van these days. You're probably going to need some tires. So let's go a fiver a day for wear and tear on your van, and then you got your fuel. Some of you might only spend like £10, £20 a week on fuel. Where I live, Edinburgh Exmoor, we do a lot of mileage, So I probably use like £10 a day on fuel. So for that, we'll throw £10 on for this because it's a made up figure. So original figure. So we're going £10, probably a good average. And then public liability insurance. You all should have it. There's no reason why you shouldn't. You're working on people's properties, whether it be, Joe Blogg's house down the road or some big site. So yeah, insurance can cost anything like £300 to like £2,000 a year, depending on what your policies are and what it covers, depending on what kind of works you do. So let's chuck in a fiver a day covers that easily, and any like admin costs and stuff. So you got that. Next up, you got goods, materials. So as in roller sleeves, brushes, things like that. Sooner or later, you're going to have to buy a new box of brushes. So that's like, what, 35 quid for a box of brushes. And also roller sleeves. People like me, I buy a roller, I don't put tape on, get all the residue. I just wash mine out, put them back in the sleeve, ready to go. I keep a lot of them because we do a lot of high-end work, and I like my piles to be as they are at the back. So yeah, basically one colour for that one job. Once that's done, that's my roller done. I don't keep washing them out, keep running them and getting flatter piles and stuff. That's not how it works on my jobs. So for goods, I probably spend, if I'm doing different colour room every couple of days, I'm easily using, you got to allow £5 a day for roller sleeves and for buying those brushes, scrapers, all those little tools, Stanley knives, new blades, pair of scissors for your wallpapering once in a while. £5 a day is going to cover you for those larger purchases of small tools throughout the year. So £5 of that. Then you're probably going to get a Festool at some point if you're a good decorator or equivalent of. So you're buying a sander, extractors. Again, I've got like seven different sanders. I've got Festool planers, drills, the whole to boot, couple of extractors. So if you're allowed £5 a day, because they're all very expensive, so it's not like, £100 over the year is going to cover it. So if you allow another, you could allow £10 a day really, but if you allow £5 a day for that, you're going good. And then, so yeah, now you're down to 120 quid already a day at the moment. And then you need to separate you and the business, what we'll come to in a minute. So also, how much profit should your company make out of you doing your job, Because think about it, if you employed somebody, how much would you want to make a day out of that guy, to make it worthwhile? £10, £20, £30. So we'll go worst scenario, maybe. £20 a day, you'd want to make that out of somebody. So your company should make £20 a day out of you. So you take £20 off, boom. You're taking home £100 a week. Would you work for somebody if they said, look, we'll give you a tool allowance, a fuel card and a van, but you're on £100 a week? If yes, you got your pricing right. If it's a big no, I'm sorry, but you need to earn more than that £200 that we decide that £1,000 a week isn't enough. Um, from experience, I'd say it's not enough. I know like 10, 15 years ago, I used to speak to my dad about it, and he's like big businessman and stuff. And even 15 years ago, he was like, you need to turn over at least £1,000 a week for you, your company, your van to stand still. And I was like, no way, man. 15, 20 years ago, I'm like, I'm happy to earn 120 quid a day or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm like, £1,000? That's ridiculous. Move forward. I totally understand it. So I know my outgoings now, roughly 60 quid. You could probably squeeze that down a little bit, but not far off, or it could be more, simple as that. So now I know if I can't live on £100, how much a week do I need to learn? So if I'm like, well, I want to take home after tax and everything, £200 a day, then you at least got to charge 260 just to be, doing okay. So there you go. Once you've got that figured, you've now got your day work rate, work out your figures to that, see where it lands up. DM me, see what it looks out. Be interesting to see. Young and old decorators, started out, long termers, let's see what your figures are. Send them to me and we'll have a look. And then, if not, you go, I need to earn 260 to 270. And then we'll talk later on about how we can make that a reality. Because straight away you go, nobody's going to pay that. If so, maybe you need to go and work for somebody else, or there's other ways around it. We'll show you those later on. Bye for now. Hope that helped.